Hey guys, it's Frank from Cruising with Wheels. Find out how a near whale watch disaster turned into a blessing in disguise in this episode of my Tales from the High Seas. In June of this year, we were on the NCL Bliss, its brand new megaship. We went to Alaska on an awesome cruise, and while we were in Juneau, we decided to do a whale watch. We were excited. We booked online from home. We paid the price, a little pricey, but we went for it. It was Tuesday, June 5th. We were up at 4:30 in the morning. Oh my God, never again. We were scheduled and had excursion tickets to do the 7 a.m. whale watch. There was a 7 a.m. and there was a 9 a.m. and we opted to do the early one because we weren't going to be there that long. So we got up early, and tried to get ourselves ready as fast as we could. Hey guys, I'm in my cabin. We were up at 4:30 this morning. It's day 4 of our Alaskan cruise aboard the NCL Bliss. We're in Juneau, Alaska. And guess what we're doing today? We're doing the whale watch and wildlife quest. Kevin is so excited. I can't wait to get on the boat either. I want to see some whales. Kevin had run for coffee, grabbed a couple of Danishes, and then we were trying to get shaved, showered, dressed, and off. We had to go to the theater to meet up with everyone, and we got there, I think, about 10 minutes before 7 a.m.
Earlier, I called up the tour. Check your yellow tickets. It just says 2112. Dog sledding and glacier adventure by helicopter. That should have a meeting time of 6:50. Please, if you are in this tour, please raise your hands for me.
Guys, capital is
Once they called our group number for our excursion, we made our way down to the gangway to get off the ship. So off the ship, rolled through the docks, and followed the crowds because they were all heading up to the buses. And we got up there, and it was packed with people, giant, huge kind of, Greyhound type of buses for all the excursions that were going on that day.
This is what Alaska is all about. I didn't let go. I didn't. So on Norwegian Cruise Lines, once you've exited the ship, you will look for your tour. You're going to walk down the gangway and you're going to look for signs just like this. And this beautiful lady, what's your name?
Izzy.
Izzy will direct you to where you have to go. We got to go now for our excursion.
Notice that until I got closer.
So we get to the end of the walkway, which is where they told us to go, where our whale watch was happening. And as we're rolling by all the buses down the line, I'm looking at everyone and I'm saying to myself, and then of course I said out loud to Kevin, have you noticed? I don't see a bus with a wheelchair lift. Not one bus has a wheelchair lift on it. I hope there's one coming because that's why we booked this. It was listed as wheelchair accessible. So we get to the end, and the people that were running the Whale Watch tours was called Allen Marine Tours. So we asked the agent who was running around with her clipboard, and she had the Allen Marine Tours jacket on, and we said, "Excuse me, but we don't see a bus with a wheelchair lift on it." And she looked down at me and she said, "No, sorry. We don't have buses like that here. We don't have buses with wheelchair lifts on it. This is Alaska. We don't do that here." And I kind of looked up at her like, we are in Alaska, right? Which the last I heard was still part of the United States. Still has to follow ADA compliances. I mean, we're certainly not in some third world country which doesn't have to follow these rules and regulations, I don't know, laws in place. And I was shocked that she was like, "This is Alaska. We don't have stuff like that. What kind of crap is that?" And then she looked at me and she said, "Well, didn't you arrange to have your own lift van to take you to this?" And I said, "I had to arrange for my own wheelchair lift transportation? I don't think so." I said, "We booked this excursion because it said on the website, wheelchair accessible. It has the wheelchair symbol on the page." And she was like, "Well, sorry. Well, I don't know what we're going to do. I can try to see if I can maybe get a van for you to take you. But I don't know. I'll have to check." And I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like, I knew this was going to happen. You know, excursions are the biggest issue that we all face, those that have mobility issues, that are in wheelchairs and scooters. Because the cruise lines, and it's not just NCL, it's all the other ones. I don't know who in corporate is sitting there in their little cubicle vetting these excursions, but they're the ones that are doing it. It's not the ship. So you can get upset and go back to your ship and complain to the excursion desk, but it's not their fault. All they're in charge of is transmitting your complaint to the corporate office. And I was so irritated. It's like, here we go again. Another excursion where they say it's handicap accessible. They even show the wheelchair picture on the website. And there's not one damn bus that has a wheelchair lift on it. Now, I wasn't the only one in a wheelchair. There were two other couples. Now, it turned out that the wives were in the wheelchairs and the husbands were pushing them. And apparently when they were told, no, there's no lift, we witnessed the husbands grab their wives, pick them up out of their wheelchairs, and I'm not kidding, literally drag them up the stairs into the buses. Now, if that wasn't the most humiliating and demeaning sight that anyone has ever witnessed, I was absolutely outraged. Now, I am 6'2", probably about 225-ish. Okay, my little 5'7" husband is not going to be dragging me out of my wheelchair and up the steps to a bus. And we're looking at this site. It's like unbelievable. This was supposed to be wheelchair accessible. This is an outrage and a disgrace. So after getting the news of we don't do that here in Alaska, and watching these two women being dragged up into the bus by their husbands, I was like, all I wanted to do was just go. I said, "You know what, Kevin? You just go. Go by yourself. Go to the Whale Watch. Obviously, I don't think this is going to happen at 7 a.m. because by 7:30, all the buses had pulled out. So buses were all gone. we were there by ourselves, just standing, well, sitting in my wheelchair. He's standing there, and we're all by ourselves going, all right, well, there goes 7 a.m. So about 5-10 minutes later, the agent from Allen Marine Tours comes back and says, okay, I was able to get a van, a private van for you, and we should be able to get you on the 9 a.m. tour. And I was still aggravated. I was still like, I don't even want to do this. So Kevin's like, calm down, you know, we've got about, you know, another hour and a half before the tour. Let's kind of roll back. Let's go back toward the restroom buildings, you know, where the crowd is hanging out. People are still getting off the ship and milling about. Let's not wait out here by ourselves. So we roll back toward the buildings, and I thought, okay, let's do some filming while we're out here. Okay? Well, that's where the blessing in disguise comes into play. Because while Kevin was getting the video cam out and was going to film, we were going to film a segment right there, he says to me, oh my God, the battery is down to like 15%. And I said, what? He goes, this battery is almost dead. And I go, okay, well, you've got the backup battery? And he goes, he's looking in his face, he goes, no. And I go, what do you mean no? You didn't bring the backup battery? I go, oh my God, well, this is what happens when you get up at 4:30 in the morning and we're all half asleep. You know, we all tell you guys, you know, get ready, get your bag ready, be prepared for your excursion the next day, have everything laid out. Well, you know, we didn't listen to our own advice because we were so tired. So I'm like, oh my God. So he goes, what are we going to do? What should I do? Do I have time to get back to the ship? I go, well, yeah, I mean, you're going to have to. I said, better you than me. I said, okay, little one, get going. You better be running your butt down to that ship. Get on the ship fast as you can, get up to our cabin, grab that extra battery out of the charger, and get back here, okay? Now get moving. So he goes running back to the ship. Well, thankfully, as he gets to the ship, he runs into Silas, the cruise director. And Silas goes, Kevin, why aren't you on your whale watch excursion? And Kevin goes, we didn't get on the 7 a.m. whale watch. It's a whole story, but I need to get back on the ship. My battery is dead for my video cam. And he goes, oh, no problem. Come with me. So he takes Kevin and he gets him on the ship through the crew entrance, through the crew elevators, and into the ship like that. So Kevin gets to our cabin, grabs the battery, and comes running back out. So we're at the bus area, and I think we'll try to get on that 9 a.m. Bus to the whale watch. But, you know, when Kevin was filming me on the last clip we did in front of the restrooms, he realized that the battery to the video cam only had like 17 minutes left on it. Like, oh my God, we're going to have no battery or footage for the whale watch. So he had to go running back to the ship like a maniac, and thank God he ran into the cruise director who wanted to know why we weren't on the whale watch. And he's like, well, we couldn't get on, but I need to get back on the ship because I need my batteries. So he took Kevin through the crew passage and got him on real quick. He ran up to the room, got the extra battery, and came running back. So we're kind of sitting here, and it's 8:15, and again, it's a 9 a.m. So another 45 minutes of waiting. So, but we're only here till 1 p.m. and then this boat books out of Juneau. So we do some filming, and it's getting close to tour time. So we kind of roll back to where the bus area is, and sure enough, at 9 a.m., a private van shows up, and you can see it's got the wheelchair lift on the side, and the driver gets out, and her name is Kathy, and she loads me up, and it's just me and Kevin. Just me and Kevin in this private van. Well, it turns out that Kathy is from New York State, where we're from. And not only is she from New York State, but she's from the town of Ithaca, which is like an hour and 45 minutes away from the city we live in. Oh my God, we're like, are you kidding me? You're from Ithaca, New York? No way. So we're busy talking, and she gets the van going, and takes us on this really cool road trip to the dock where the boat is, and we got this really awesome tour from Kathy. Well, we get to the dock, and Kathy unloads me, and we go down the ramp, and the people that are on the Whale Watch boat get me up the ramp and over the lip into the boat, and it's nice area, nice boat.
Wir gehen wahrscheinlich eher raus, wenn es dann die Wahl
First thing in my mind is there better be bathrooms on board. And of course there are. There are 3 bathrooms on board. There's the ladies' room, then in the middle is the handicap bathroom, and then next to that is the men's room. Well, it turns out that during this whole whale watch tour, isn't there a problem with the handicap bathroom? Apparently the handicap bathroom the toilet isn't flushing properly. It's constantly running. So I'm like, okay, once we get on there, I'm like, okay, done the ride in the van to get here. I think before the boat takes off, I need to roll my butt, get my big old butt to the handicap bathroom. I see there's a queue already, lining up there. People are waiting on both sides to get into the bathroom, but I just need to get into the handicap. So I get there, I roll myself in, and then you go up, and it's a sharp 90-degree turn to get into that little back hallway, and then I got a sharp turn into the bathroom. But I got in there, and the toilet was flushing, constantly flushing. I'm like, well, this isn't normal, but I do what I gotta do when I get out there. So we get into place. I'm in my wheelchair. We're up front. I'm by the window. Kevin's sitting in the chair. So now the boat is taking off, and I'm in front. I'm in my wheelchair by the window. I've got the video cam. Kevin's got his cell phone, and the boat takes off, and the beautiful scenery. We can't wait. We hope we see tons of whales. And then they're talking about the sea lions and the bald eagles, and we're like, oh my God. So Kevin is bebopping around. He's out on deck with his cell phone. I'm glued to the window with my video cam and hoping to take some great video clips. What a great tour. It was an awesome trip. Oh, the footage was great. The whales were great. The sea lions were great. Oh my God. Once in a lifetime, you got to do it. Come to Alaska, do a cruise, do a whale watch. It was about 2.5 hours, ended about 12:30. We got back to the dock. It took a while for, everybody to kind of unload, get the wheelchair people off. Onto the dock, up the ramp, and as we got to the top, guess what? The parking lot was loaded with all the giant buses. And guess what, people? Every bus that was there, and there had to be like 6+ of these giant Greyhound-type buses, every bus had a wheelchair lift on it. Every one of them. You believe it? So this whole story from that Allen Marine Tour agent of this is Alaska and we don't have buses with wheelchair lifts was a bunch of crap. Because every bus that was up there had a wheelchair lift on it. So we're now heading back on the big bus with everybody else, and one of the other wheelchair couples is on the same bus that we are on, and we got to talking with the husband and wife about what a great tour it was, and we got back to the dock and got back to the NCL Bliss about 1:15 in the afternoon. So again, I say, this event and near disaster was a blessing in disguise. Can you imagine if we had gotten on the bus, to the dock, on the boat, and our battery was dead, and I would not have had the video cam with me to take all these great video clips, zooming in and out, getting close-ups of the whales, all the, just, oh my God, it would have been just Kevin with his cell phone. And we would have missed out on all of this, all these great videos that we wanted to take and bring to all of you from our cruise to Alaska. Juneau, the whale watch. It would have been so disappointing. I think we would have been beating ourselves up for the rest of the day and the rest of the cruise. So I just want to say this entire Alaska cruise on the NCL Bliss was just awesome. I mean, really was a once-in-a-lifetime trip. You all got to do it. I don't care how you do it. Drive there, fly there, take a cruise, get to Alaska. Alaska is awesome. It's majestic. You know what? It just wasn't enough time. You really got to go back once, twice, 3 times. I can't imagine living there and just spending every day looking at the scenery, looking what is majestic Alaska. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I want to thank you for being with me today, and on behalf of Kevin and myself from Cruising with Wheels, I want to remind you to join me always on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button, and remember, we're also on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. And remember, travel safe and cruise often.